Hey guys, welcome to my coverage of SHOT Show 2018. There are a ton of awesome new products this year, so hit subscribe as I try to cover them all. This year my coverage is brought to you by Primary Arms. They've released an excellent new micro red dot sight with a 2 MOA crisp dot, a 50,000 hour battery life, keeps up with the big boys for under 150 bucks. There's a link in the video description below, check them out.
So this is for Defense Munitions, and we've developed the first new firearm system in several decades, since the time of John Browning. We have a brand new overall fire system, but also the heart of the system is the new ammunition, which is caseless, and we call it a charge block. And basically, you have multiple projectiles, primers, and propellants all packed inside this block. And they load in. This is our military version, which it will allow for hypervelocity loads. Our proof of concept prototype has a very similar block, and you load it right into the action here, and these take the place of the chamber and allow for the multiple bore barrel. So this is a brand new ammunition delivery system. That's we hold the protection on that. We have 19 patent claims that have been allowed. And so if you look straight down the barrel here, that's our single barrel multi-bore setup there. And what that does is it manages heat in a far superior way, and also allows for much more flexible fire control. So you can do semi-auto, 5-round burst, full auto, or the power shot, which is all 5 at once, or power shot full auto. And right now, this is only set up for semi-auto to comply with all the regulations. And once we have the licenses to produce the fire control version, all of those options will be wide open, and you can handle any escalation in a firefight that might come your way. Right now, a really big problem on the battlefield is that you can't handle escalation very well. So there's a very low sustained rate of fire, and our goal is to create a firearm that can continually fire, continuous operation instead of intermittent operation. And so I think that we've pretty closely achieved that, and once we have all of the proper allowances to do so, we'll create the full mil-spec version, and we'll prove all that out. So since I'm not the inventor and I'm not super comfortable with it, I'm not going to actually go through the motion, but the video there does show it in a much better way than us. They're like right here, you can see that. They all pop in, and they eliminate the need to load individual rounds into magazines, and pretty much the mil-spec version will come straight from the factory pre-packed and ready to go. And you won't have to load individual magazine rounds. You won't even have to carry extra rounds, or extra magazines. These will slide directly into the military version. Obviously, these are the ones that match up with this. And they just slide right in, and they're ready to go when you orient them correctly. So these would pop right into the magazine. And then after you fire all of the one in each block, it ejects out the other side of the rifle and feeds the next block? Yes, exactly. So these all stack up, they link together like Legos, and they would pop right into the magazine all the way in. And then once one is exhausted, it pops out and takes all the heat with it. And then the next one pops into place, and when that is exhausted, it pops out, and all the heat goes with it. So it prevents overheating, which is the main problem, the main issue with current firearm designs. It overheats because one chamber handles every single round, and that chamber gets so hot, rounds can cook off, and the metal itself, the dimensions can distort because it gets really overheated. And this prevents any of that overheating. The movement of all of this ammunition is way simplified, much more simplified, and it minimizes the probability of jamming. Also, our action is over 60 times more efficient because it only moves 2 millimeters instead of the 6-inch movement of reciprocating actions per round. Ours moves 2 millimeters per 5 rounds, or per 5 charges, sorry. And therefore being many, many, many times more efficient. Really, you want as little movement as possible to minimize the probability of jamming, and you want to mitigate any heat that's developed, so that jamming and overheating issues that are inherent to all other firearm designs, they aren't an issue anymore.
Where do you find out more information?
FDmunitions.com. www.fdmunitions.com.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're Forward Defense Munitions.